we accidentally played an episode of Kojak. By mistake. We were going to play a song.
Carl, what did you make of that then?
Yeah, what's happening there then?
Eh? He was living with his family, he was fairly impoverished.
He went
He's
on a
moved
bus.
to
Was
the
that
new...
a bus he was on, was it?
Right, so
what's your take on it, Carl?
After hearing that, what I've worked out by it, the first part that we heard last week, everything's alright, but it's not that great living in Mississippi, right? So he goes, oh, I'm gonna go to New York. There's plenty of work there.
Yeah.
They'll sort of accept me as, you know, and everything. So he goes there, and, the weird thing is, he's hardly, like, been in New York for a second. He gets on a bus, all of a sudden some cop is arresting him. He's like, what's going on? And then he's got 10 years. I mean, what you can't hear, because the levels are quite bad. I mean, I work with sound. I can't really hear what's going on.
You're criticising Stevie Wonder,
I'm sort of guessing that he didn't pay his bus fare or something. And,
10 years!
He got 10 years for that.
I really don't know what was going on.
Right.
Oh.
But you're not happy, because obviously it's quite
Do you think Stevie Wonder left out some vital ingredients in the story, in your education? Like where it was, or... At least he got where it was. You can tell what year it is. It's, right in the mid-70s there, that funky New York 70s sound.
Alright.
Yeah.
You're pretty disappointed, aren't you? You're pretty worried, because...
So what went on?
Yeah.
What
you know,
happened?
well, you're aware, Carl, because that shows quite a bad image of New York. It's quite an intolerant city, by all accounts. They arrested a guy.
But it is quite
seemingly
bad,
for being black.
That's one song where you shouldn't go to New York. Killing a Georgie Rod Stewart. That lad, he was doing alright in Scotland and said, I'm gonna go to the big city. He got done in.
Yeah.
Seems to me, it's that you don't go there. If you've got, like, problems, don't think New York's the answer.
Right.
Oh, hold on, yeah. So what you're saying, that if you're a bit fed up with your life, but you live with your mum and she's, like, really nice and you got friends, and life's not that bad, don't go and be murdered, or what? What are you saying? Don't go and be murdered.
Well,
Don't go and...
leave home.
What? Go on.
Leave home, but don't go to New York.
Right.
There's other places.
Where would you go? Sheffield?
Don't know, but...
Yeah.
But you're a little mank lad, weren't you? You're in your garden, we had your train set, your brother blew up, there was a horse next door, and you thought, oh, I wanna go to London. So, do you know what I mean? You're like that.
Yeah, but...
You're in many ways like the fella in that song, and like Georgie.
No, because
in many ways you are a bit like Georgie, aren't you?
I had a car, so...
No, are you a little bit like Georgie in many ways?
I didn't get on a bus, I had a car. So, I wasn't gonna have the problem he had, for a start.
Right.
But, I mean, I suppose there's loads of things you can look at that story and take out of it. That's what I like about the feature, right?
What?
So...
That's what you like about the feature?
The feature that we're doing.
Oh, right.
That song's got a good story.
If you had a time machine, where would you go? What year would you go? Would you
Probably the 60s.
Okay, would you go forward at all? What's your favourite year in the future?
No, I don't know.
If someone could tell your future to you, if someone could, you wouldn't want to know.
No.
Straight away you knew that. Straight away, there was no hesitation.
Yeah.
You've thought about this, haven't you?
Yeah.
You've thought to yourself, if someone can reveal my future,
Carl, you've got to do one of these things, right? You know, like Quantum Leap, like a fella in Quantum Leap, what's his name?
I forget his name, but yeah.
Yeah, and you've got a little fella with Hal, and he's telling you that, right? Would you rather go back, and you go in someone's body, would you rather go back, you could go back to be, a donkey that's carrying Mary to Bethlehem. You could, be a Saigon prostitute in 1975. All those GIs queuing up.
Think about it.
Or, you could be, Moby Dick.
Which of those would you be, Carl? Think about it.
Probably Moby Dick's the best option, isn't it?
Okay.
So
What work have we got?
Play a tune, Carl. After this, we need to educate Ricky for the final time.
Final time educating Ricky.
We've still got to give away these tickets to DJ Shadow, and we've got to give the answers to your magnificent
we've only got a quarter now. It's not enough time in this show. It's packed.
I don't know if, maybe you just have to picture this, but my sister had to take a photo once. She was working in, like, a factory. Not to denigrate people who work in factories, but there happened to be a particularly oddball, kind of lank-haired, weird guy living, working in this factory. And he did his own tattoos. And she took a photo of it because she was so extraordinary. He'd drawn it himself. Now, bear in mind, it was the kind of thing you saw when you were doing art when you were, like, 15. This is the sort of person who designed their own, like, heavy rock album cover.
Yeah.
He's that sort of person. So, I mean, like,
was it a dragon with breasts?
You're not far off, Rick.
No.
You're not far off. I'll tell you what it was. He had this tattooed on his back. It took up his entire back. She took a photo of it for me. He drew it himself, he had it tattooed himself, and it was just too much detail. Too much detail for a tattoo. It needs to be fairly simple, I think, to make a tattoo. It was... it was a naked female vampire having a shower.
Why was she having a shower?
Having a shower, that's why she was naked.
Yeah.
And so she was
presumably,
she'd been out
a lot of blood.
Yeah, well, she was naked, so you could see her naked body.
Yeah.
She's quite a beautiful vampire, relatively speaking.
Yeah.
Although the symmetry of her face was somewhat off.
Yeah.
The only thing I think that gave it away
had a bad spine.
was that she did have some pointed teeth. I think that was how you knew she was a vampire.
Right. Was she looking,
but, the fact that she was having a shower was
very specific,
weird,
isn't it?
But he'd sort of drawn in
he said to the eye, listen, I want a naked bird, right? But I don't want it to be gratuitous. He goes, well, you can put her in a shower, because then they went, pop her in the shower.
That at least gives some kind of justification.
That's the plot. I mean, you know, it's justified within the story if she's in a shower. Sure. Okay. Yeah, we'll have that. Carl. Yeah. Okay. Any other nicknames your friends of your family had?
What was your nickname, Carl?
Just, Pilky, really.
Because for a minute I thought Carl the Veg would have made a lot of sense.
Yeah, Carl the Veg. And why has your dad got a little tattoo, Dopey Twat, on his arm?
Right, we'll do the answers to, Rockbusters next.
Nirvana, you know you're right, on XFM 104.9. I had to, meet the, doctor for this fight thing, in the week, and, it's the one who's off, Big Brother.
Psychiatrist?
Yeah, and, but she's a medical doctor, and she's sort of, big in the boxing sort of world as well. And one of the tests, I had to do a punch test. The other test I had to do was to get in the bod pod.
Really? The same as Fat Swallow?
Yeah.
And he wiped it down since he was
yeah. And I was a little bit nervous. And
so what does this do? What exactly does it do?
What it does, you do a displacement sort of calibration with a known volume.
Alright, just bear in mind that Carl's listening, so if you want to explain that in...
What it does, Carl, is it works out your density.
Okay,
right? Through displacement, it knows how much what your volume is for the air displaced, right, in this thing, and
in layman's terms, what does it tell you?
Would it work?
It tells you. It knows what muscle weighs. It knows what fat weighs. It knows your average density of your skeleton, what height you are. So it works out from your volume and your density. It can work out, therefore, probably what percentage of that is muscle, fat, bone, etc.
What if you put in one of those,
Oh, God.
Oh, go on then.
No, go on, what were you gonna ask?
What would it do if you put in one of those pug dogs?
You put in one of those, what?
What do you mean, what would it do?
What, like on Ricky's lap?
No.
Do you know those dogs that are all wrinkling, have got too much skin for the skeleton?
Yeah.
And it's all, like, caving in and folding over?
Yeah.
Would the machine go, well, we know what you are, so it's alright? Or would it say, oh, what's going on here?
Do you know
what I mean? Like last week when you were
why do you want to confuse machines? Do you remember when he put in Y to a computer search engine to try and confuse it? I love the fact, I want the computer to come back, why not, and your head explode. I mean, I love the idea that you're trying to, I mean,
it's better than what I thought you were going to say, which is, what if you put a fly in there?
Well, I'm worried about that. I said don't let a fly in, yeah. But anyway.
So anyway, what percentage of you is muscle and what percentage of you is fat?
I'm 25% fat.
25% fat?
Yeah.
Now what's Rick Waller?
And most of me is muscle. Bone density and that. Rick Waller was 60% fat, which I've looked into it, and apparently is exactly the same as a pork scratching.
Wow, that's extraordinary.
So he is
the
equivalent of a 30-stone
a giant pork scratching.
Yeah.
So is 20% fat, is that good or bad?
No, 20%'s alright, 25's over.
Right.
Men, healthy, fit, lean men, about 18, 20, I'm 25.
So you're a healthy, fit, lean man?
No, 18, I'm 25.
Oh, you're 25?
Yeah,
right,
so I'm 5%, over. And a boxer, that is in peak, you know, with the, basically, you've seen the ones, they just look, you know, like Bruce Lee. They're 8%.
8%, wow.
fat. So,
is that good for you?
Well, I don't think it's that bad for you. I mean, you know, you need a bit of fat.
Bruce Lee supposedly, I mean, there's many rumours, I'm sure you're fascinated by them, Carl, conspiracy theories surrounding Bruce Lee's death.
Yeah.
One of which is that his body was, it's at the peak of physical perfection. He had an aspirin because of a headache. And it reacted with his, because just the impurities in the aspirin killed him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because it's sort of like quite interesting and a bit weird.
Yeah.
He'll have
yes, that's fact.
He'll have,
Well, are you aware of the fact that supposedly he actually cheated death, he actually faked his own death so he could work undercover for the Hong Kong police? Are you aware of that?
Yeah.
Do you believe that as well? Not so convinced.
Dunno.
Do you believe he could kill a man by putting all his energy into a trembling hand and touching him and every blood vessel burst?
Well, it's just another form of trickery, innit? I mean, you met up with Darren, didn't you?
Met up with Darren Brown, yeah.
Darren Brown.
Yeah, he's incredible. Yeah, he's probably the Britain's best illusionist, if you don't mind me saying.
Yeah.
You can put that on a poster if you want.
Tell you what, though, right? Changing the subject a bit. We were talking about a fly getting in that pod.
Yeah.
Read in the week when I was searching for stuff to educate, you know, the Educate Ricky section. Yeah. Which we will be
Do you want to answer that phone, because it's annoying me? Who's phoning?
I don't know, it's obviously someone who doesn't know that you're talking at the moment, so leave it.
Let him finish the point, let him finish the point.
It could be,
leave it.
It could be the head of...
Leave it.
Yeah, go on.
Could be the head of XFM?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so scared!
No.
We must
I won't be embarrassing him, I going, don't call me when I'm working.
Nice, right, fighting against the machine, high five. Raging against the machine.
Anyway, yeah, right, we were talking about flies getting in a pod. And do you know, like, how, a Barbie doll, if it was real, it wouldn't be able to work? Do you know what I mean? A Barbie doll, if a woman had the...
proportions.
Yeah, she wouldn't be able to tie her shoelaces up and stuff, because her legs are too long for her back and all that. Flies, scientists can't work out how they fly.
It's a bee.
It's a bee. It's a bee, not a fly.
No, a fly as well.
No.
A fly is, apparently its body is like too big for its wings, and they still can't work it out.
Yeah.
How it flies.
Which in your mind says what? Something spooky going on?
They have worked out that it's the fact that what they do, the wing actually beats a ridiculous about 150 times a second, so it displaces air.
Yeah.
So they have.
I know what you mean. It's incredible that it can fly because it's got such small wings.
Yeah. All right.
And it's a bee, not a fly.
So, yeah, but other than that, good point.
Bowie.
Another classic. Be My Wife off the Low album, David Bowie. Doves. Caught by the River on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington and everything. No, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Go on.
A little bit hungover, don't feel very well.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm hungover or still a bit drunk, but I don't feel...
You sound like you're still a bit drunk.
Yeah, so what I'm worried about...
you do every week, so...
But what I'm worried about is that the standard will slip. If I'm not right on the ball. And the other thing is, I haven't had a lot of time to prepare the show today. So, I don't feel, you know...
100%.
Yeah. I haven't done the... Carl.
Right.
Look.
Have you finished that sentence?
I don't make me laugh because it hurts as well. And there's another side effect to me being a little bit hungover or drunk or whatever, right? Is that I can be annoying.
Right, yes.
Because just to amuse myself, I sort of like turn my body off a little bit and just poke and like that and annoy people and that. I want to sort of like...
Well, you do the physical equivalent of freewheeling. Don't you? You just
I sort of want to climb on Carl and go to sleep on him.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
They both annoy him and it'd be comfortable.
Yes.
Which is... you know, can be annoying.
Just a little thing just to make this show a bit easier. If you'd put your hand up when you want one of us to speak, because I'm not quite sure when the sentences are finished.
The hands are up.
Okay, good. So,
the hands are up.
Okay.
Okay.
Good, alright.
Okay.
Are you gonna just keep them up for the rest of the show, or?
No, Carl, do what you...
Good, alright. Do you wanna, I mean, is there an excuse as to why you're a bit hungover?
Too much wine.
Okay.
Last night, yeah.
Yeah. Good. Thanks for that. Because this is the only work you've got to do all week, isn't it? It's like, unless I'm very much mistaken, you don't have to do anything. You just sit at home eating cheese.
Yeah.
Then occasionally you do a bit of sort of shadow boxing. And that's exercise. And then you sit and watch TV.
Yeah.
Is that roughly what you did this week?
Yeah.
So this is the only 2 hours you had to do anything for all week. This is you had to prepare for this.
Yeah, but who can plan a hangover?
Right.
You know, you'd think, Carl, you said you had some stuff.
Yeah.
What have you got? Yeah,
I
love the fact that, whereas I was a little bit slow, Carl there leapt into action to keep this show afloat, keep the pace up. Go on.
Right, well,
Carl, are you hungover as well, or?
I'm just a bit annoyed because I'm with you. Do you know what I mean? He hasn't got much to do all week.
You're having a laugh.
What?
What angers me is I kind of hope that maybe I could have quite a long career in radio, and I sort of feel like I don't know, the word sinking ship.
Yeah.
Those words spring to mind.
But
because it feels like, I mean, Carl, you're just a chancer anyway. You weren't even supposed to be on air, and we've made you into something of a household name, and that's cool.
Household name.
And Ricky's already a celebrity. He's got it stitched up. He's got corporates. He's got, you know, voiceover work. But I've got nothing. I'm running on empty. You know, I'm not, nothing. I've got nothing here. I'm sort of dependent a bit on this.
Yeah.
Financially. And,
go on then. What
and you two are sort of bringing it down, really.
Right.
Do you reckon I can get my own show, Carl?
Carl. Tell them what I did out there with a bit. No, Carl, tell them how funny I was out there with a bit in that a minute ago.
So anyway, come on,
I'm bored of this.
I'll tell you what. will we tease them with what we've got coming up next?
Yeah, Carl, tease us after the next record.
I think we've already got them for 2 hours.
Yeah, we've hooked them, Carl. Don't worry, this is textbook radio.
What's this? Babylon on board.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the smooth indie sound of Richard Ashcroft. The Science of Silence on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, joining me is Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington.
It was an excellent link, that, Rick. Did you say NIME at one point? 104.9? Did I? Other than that, it was textbook.
Yeah, a desperate attempt at being articulate.
Sure.
But let myself down.
With your
See, this is the good thing about the boxing thing, because, there's no chance of me, you know, slurring my words. No, I already slurred my words.
Yeah,
so any damage will be totally fine.
Yeah.
Oh,
the doctor's rushing in. I think there might be some kind of concussion. Jane just going, no, that's just the way he talks to me. But because I'm thinking maybe, did you start the show with that particular kind of manner? Just because obviously a lot of new listeners, I imagine, thanks to the massive poster campaign, and you obviously want to impress them and charm.
There's a few examples today of irony coming back and biting you.
Yeah.
That seemed like a funny idea at the time, me posing that, but Jonathan Ross phoned me up when they first went up and he just said, I've just seen a big poster of a predatory gay.
Yeah, you do look a little bit,
yeah. Hello, what's your name? Why would you like to sit down here? And then you're in the background. And also, I think the funny thing about having you as a partner, I mean, the only good thing, is that, you know, you look weird and tall, like too freakishly tall and lanky.
Oh, yeah,
but in that one, no, because your background and you're smiling, you don't look as weird as you do in real life, or as freakishly tall. So it sort of ruins it a little bit for me. Look at Pilkington. Look.
Pilkington, what are you doing?
He's not listening, he's just opening a packet, what are they? McVitie's. See, we should mention them. We get some free ones if anyone at McVitie's are listening, because we're not getting the perks of this.
Nothing. I'd say I'm not getting anything. I really got in this game for the ladies, for the money, for the voiceover work. Certainly, I'm seeing hide the hair of that.
But you're not getting the voiceover work because Jethro's getting all the parts that you might get.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Okay, Rick. Yeah. You were the voice of what? The drink driving campaign? You sound like a man who was run over in a drink drive incident.
Oh,
I mean, it's like you don't drive.
I didn't get any money for that, did I? Oh, did I? I can't remember.
It's like, I mean,
I don't drive, well, that's good, I don't drive. No, it said don't drink and drive, so I've chosen just to drink.
But at least I can formulate sentences using the English language, and I'm not getting the voiceover work.
The English language of the 14th century.
Well, it's better English language and English language. Rather than whatever kind of Middle England language you speak, the language of the hobbits.
Alright, Carl.
Alright.
See, you're eating a biscuit. I can't believe it. Are you bored with this already? Do you know what? MTV called me last week. They called me again yesterday and said, when can they come down to do they're coming down next Saturday, by the way, to do a little screen test for you. They're gonna sort of just film you with a little camcorder. You said this. They're gonna film you. Are you alright? Do you want to, I mean, are you hungry? Do you want to go out and have a meal? I can't believe you're eating while I'm on air.
No one can hear that.
Do you know who I am?
No one can hear that.
Explain who I am.
Well, that's Ricky Gervais, right? He's made his name on TV.
Yeah.
Okay, he's done any number of corporate gigs, and they pay silly money. So, I mean, this guy's earning, you know, and really, earning beyond his talent. Alright?
So, I think I deserve a little bit more than a little mank eating a biscuit while I'm talking.
Rick Gervais?
Yeah.
Have you won a BAFTA?
Yeah, too.
Alright, so,
yeah.
just a little bit of respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carl,
well,
what have you won? What have you won?
I got a bronze certificate for doing a full week at school.
That's great.
It was only a bronze.
What's that then? 3 out of 5 days.
And I got me a little Crusaders badge, if you remember.
What's the little
The what?
Crusaders badge?
The Crusaders badge for the religious club. So
Oh, was that the fella that you went and played
You had to go
ping
and
pong
convert
ball? So
Muslim,
they wanted
did
to
you?
talk to you about God.
yeah,
Yeah.
You got a Crusaders badge, did you?
yeah, that's
I
why I
didn't realise
went.
you
That's
got a
why I
badge
joined. That's why I joined.
For the
I
badge.
like the little badge. Did 4 weeks, and then packed it in. But we're talking about MTV, right? And I was feeling a bit nervous, wasn't I? About like, you know, the way I look
Right.
and what have you. And then I watched a bit of Celebrity Big Brother and all the fuss that Mark Owen's getting, and he's not that good looking, is he?
He's very, I want to be Mark Owen's mate. If anyone who knows Mark Owen, or Mark Owen's listening, I want to be his mate.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think he's brilliant.
I think he's a nice lad, but what I'm saying is, right, all the girls go mad over him,
Yeah.
and he's not that good looking, is he?
Well, no, he's got to, it is in a certain way, isn't he? That sort of, non-threatening, sort of.
Yeah, but he's not stunning, is he? Do you know what I mean?
No, but, no.
Well, what's
well,
your definition of a stunning?
Yeah. Who do you like?
Someone who you look at and you go, God, they're good
Which
looking.
bloke do you fancy?
What bloke do you think's attractive then?
So if I was into men,
Yeah, yeah.
in fact, you can still say a bloke's a good looker without like fancying him. And that.
Who do you think
You
is
know what I mean?
attractive?
Probably. I mean, it depends what you're looking for.
No, just look. Just look. Who you think
there's
is
different looks as
Of
well,
course,
isn't
yeah.
there?
No, who did you say was
Yeah.
attractive? Who did you say was like stunning in your definition?
A good-looking lad.
Yeah.
Good-looking lad. Oh, look at him over there. He's. Ooh.
Do you find, you know, Robbie Williams, do you find him attractive?
Boy next door, look.
No. Who do you? Carl, hurry up, because it's we've only got 2 hours.
Probably. Do you know? I can't think of one offhand. Mark Owen is pretty good looking then, really.
Well, there's not, just name one bloke that you think's an attractive guy. There must be one bloke that you've either met, or that you've, you know, seen in a pub,
Who do you
or
think
on a
is attractive?
poster.
Tell you what.
Go on.
Works here. Young Alex Zane.
Alex! Well, we know Alex, maybe we can fix you up. Oh, I love you, Alex! You've got so much! Feeder, come back around. XFM, 104.9. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. I asked Karl in the week, right, what animal would he never trust? Even if he got to know it and it was a pet and everything, what animal would he never trust? What was it?
Was this, a wasp?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you trust a wasp, Carl?
I just think that,
They're shifty?
all other animals, if you get them at an early age, you can sort of make them like you.
You can train them.
A wasp.
Nothing.
Never.
Is there anything do you think there's anything you could do that would kind of, win the favour and win the trust of a wasp? What would you have to do you think?
What if you had it from a little grub?
Yeah.
And you fed it, you had its favourite marmalade?
It doesn't affect it though, does it? A bee dies, doesn't it, if it does it, so it's not gonna, like, use it willy-nilly.
That's easy for you to say.
But a wasp.
Do you think they sting arbitrarily? They just sting for the fun of it? They're like sort of like delinquent insects?
I think so, because last night, right, I mean, this is part of educating Ricky in a way, but something I learnt last night was that tarantulas only bite you if you annoy it.
Right.
They don't, do you know how people say, oh, if you're in a sleeping bag living in a jungle, a spider will get in there and it'll bite you?
Yeah.
Apparently not, you've got to really annoy it. The thing that it really hates is having its leg sort of twisted.
It hates having his leg twisted. Right.
Yeah, but that's more for...
Is that what they said in a documentary?
No,
actually said, this is
almost certainly not, Steve. Almost certainly
Were you watching
not.
a documentary?
No, I was reading it.
Oh, you're reading it.
And, it was this guy...
Was it scrawled on the wall in like a public toilet?
No, I'll tell you.
No.
I'll tell you more about that later.
Oh,
It's
right,
part
I'm
of
looking
the, thing.
Educating
So if
Part
you
of
don't
the
trust the evil wasp, what animal do you trust? What's your favourite?
Well, I also, I said to him, right, supposing your mind, right, your mind got put into any animal, right, and you've got to get from where you are now, right, to Glasgow, right, as an animal, right, but the authorities will be looking out for it.
Okay.
And it's shooting you, right? And, what you went through loads, didn't you?
I was thinking about it it must have took me about an hour.
So your mind, sorry, your mind has been put into an animal.
And then, yeah, so it's you in this animal thinking, you've got to get to somewhere.
But the authorities know you're in the animal?
Yeah, maybe your body is in Glasgow or something, and you've got to get this animal to get to you so it can transfer its mind back into your body.
But the government knows that I'm...
Oh, we've all had that conversation.
So the government's going, Karl can't have his own brain back.
I only have it with Karl, don't I, these conversations? Go on, yeah.
So you're on the way.
So think about it, you think about it just for a second, so, let's recap. Your body's in Scotland.
Right.
He's the only one that takes my question seriously.
Your brain is in London. Right? And there's like loads of security and stuff looking out in the sky for animals or looking on the field, seeing what's looking a bit suspicious. Trying to get to your body.
And they're shooting
the brain, and they're shooting everything and killing all the animals. What thing would you pick to get your brain to Scotland that wouldn't get caught? And I reckon I've got the answer.
A wasp?
No, because think about it, a lot of people get irritated if it sort of wanted to get a lift in a car going down the motorway. If someone's driving there's a wasp in the car, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, sure.
Cause a right accident. Yeah. So think of something that people wouldn't, you know.
And the clock's ticking as well.
You're taking this really very seriously, aren't you, Karl?
You've only got a couple
you've given this a lot of thought, haven't you? You have.
Yeah.
So, something with speed.
Yeah, it's
something that can travel quite speedily.
Well, that's... Yeah.
Well,
and something that's also inconspicuous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that the sort of thing that's what you're going to
Yeah.
And is it a creature that's native to this country?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it is.
I've got no idea, Karl. What are you thinking?
Tell him.
A flea.
A flea?
Tell him why.
Think about it. Right, this flea, it's got my brain. It's dead small, the flea.
Thanks for clearing that up.
Yeah.
And so it goes, right, I've got to get to Scotland. So it jumps on someone who's going to Euston Station.
Right.
They don't know it's there.
No.
The government can't see it.
Can't see it, Steve! Think of that statement! Think of you just tuned in!
Yeah.
Now,
people get on the train, goes to Glasgow or Edinburgh, wherever in Scotland it is. It jumps off, it goes right, jumps on someone else who's going the way it needs to go, gets there, still no one's seen it, jumps on me, I get my brain back.
Yeah.
The government are like, phew.
And you feel confident that your brain would fit in that of a flea's?
Well, you said there was no problem with the size of it, you said you could...
there certainly wouldn't be.
So...
No.
I pretty much, you could download everything you know into a flea.
So that's genius.
Yeah.
That's,
what would you rather have, right? Roller skate feet, and there's little wheels, right? Chopstick hands. Yeah? Instead of hands. Chopsticks instead of hands. Wheels instead of feet.
Yeah.
Right? Or acne.
How big are the wheels?
Can I take you guys back to the old school? Do you mind if we take it back to the old school?
Well, yeah, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna lay on me?
No, I just, maybe a bit of a De La Soul. Is that a problem? Is it a problem going back to the old school?
No,
we don't need to go if you don't
as long as it's vinyl shit.
It is indeed. Slam it on.
I never went. There we go.
David Bowie.
It's a cracker.
Be My Wife, off a low.
Very good indeed.
Yeah.
Look, you know my frustration with the homeless?
Yeah.
You know they wind me up. Walking through Soho last night, I saw a homeless fella reading a book.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you this, if he's got the wherewithal to read a book, right, he's obviously, you know, he wants to keep himself occupied, his mind educated.
Yeah.
My point is, why not, instead of reading a book, have a quick look through the job vacancies section of the Evening Standard, or maybe just take the time to fill in some kind of application form for, you know, maybe, you know,
so
a job or something like
confusing there was is the ability to read with the ability to house yourself.
Well, no, because what I'm saying is, it seems to me he's obviously got a certain, you know, grasp psychologically of, you know, his where
they're
he's
not mental, like, people who haven't got houses.
A lot of them are, Rick. I've seen them dancing and shouting and screaming, you know, and pissing in doorways and stuff.
Yeah, again, you're confusing homelessness with trampiness.
Well, again, you know,
some people just have left home and they haven't got a...
Gervais, I'm not a sociologist.
No.
Sorry if I can't spot all the clever distinctions that a trained expert such as yourself can. Well, all I know is, there was a fella reading a book.
Well, you know the ones that have got beards and sing little tunes and they smell of piss?
They're my favourite, right? They are brilliant.
Yeah, and they're drinking special brew.
Yeah.
Especially the one. That's an alcoholic tramp,
yeah,
right?
They are.
You know the ones that sit with a dog or sell big issue, they just haven't got their own place.
Right.
Do you see?
Okay. Well, again, I mean, because it is tricky finding a place, I know, because I had to move house recently, and it's a nightmare. I had to get, like, estate agents on it, and I had to go and see a load of places, and I was doing a job as well, you know, I still managed to fit it in. This guy's just lounging around on the street, so I'm surprised he can't find
loads of places to live.
I'm surprised he can't find the time to visit a couple of different residences.
Yeah.
Because there's some pretty cheap ones, you know, if you go kind of a bit farther out of London. Maybe it's because he wants to live in the Soho area, and frankly, it's expensive.
What I'm confused about is the number of homeless people that recognise me and say they enjoy The Office. They've got to be watching it through Dixon's window.
I think that's probably demographic that's sort of hung over from some of your previous TV work.
The 11 o'clock show.
Yeah, you know, or stuff like that.
The ones that used to set fire to
yeah, exactly.
tramps and the French for me.
Exactly,
yeah.
Some of the weirdos. Or maybe sort of people who watched, you know, have watched the show and then have fallen on hard times since then, I don't know. And this is not necessarily linked, I mean,
I wouldn't have thought so. Carl's lost in this conversation. Carl, are we boring you then?
No, it's just, I don't know, it's a bit tight, isn't it?
What?
Because it's like, I sometimes think it could have been me. When I see homeless people and that, I just think, you know, I nearly killed a man once. It could have totally changed my life.
So, you want to slow down there. Just want to back up for a second. Just back up for a second.
No, like that time when I was in Wales, right, and I picked up a big piece of slate and chucked it off the cliff.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And it nearly hit a fella.
Yeah.
Right, in that split second, if he would have decided to sort of go and pick up a shell that was closer to the sea, it could have hit him, and it would have killed him, and I wouldn't be sat here today.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it's just all about luck, innit?
Right.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, don't know, that's about it, really. That's
the point. That's the political.
What was the point again? That you there for the grace of God to lie?
Yeah, no, he's saying, you know, you should count our blessings because you know anything can happen.
Yeah,
you never know what's round the corner.
Sure. Yeah,
it's like if Karl hadn't met us, he'd still be in that little room making jingles. Now he is a respected household name.
Do you think he packed the book before he left home? To become homeless, he thought, right, I'm gonna need the clothes, I'm gonna need the cigarettes, I'm gonna need the dog and the piece of string, and I probably gonna need some reading literature as well, because I'm gonna get pretty bored, like, just sitting in the street begging all day.
Maybe
I should take, I wanna catch up on, some of the stuff I haven't read, you know.
Or maybe it's one of those themed holidays, you know those trendy middle-class people?
Right.
They go on, like, the adventure holidays and danger holidays. Maybe the latest one, amongst sort of, like, yuppie types, is, homeless holidays.
Exactly, yeah.
They pay, like, £10,000.
Exactly.
And they really
get a little
the
area of sort of the streets of Soho.
And people come up to them and abuse them.
Yeah.
They're all paid, they're all actors. Yeah.
They get beaten up at night when they're sleeping under a bridge.
They you know, they get to try a really safe sort of form of heroin.
Sure, yeah. That sounds brilliant. Now that's worth marketing,
Themed holidays.
Themed holidays like that. You can have homeless.
Yeah.
You can have, like, rent boy holidays. Find out what it's like to be a rent boy for 3 weeks.
Yeah, and then, they have to
make a little bit of money on the
side.
side.
They have to wean them off it.
Exactly.
At the end, they go, no, don't keep sucking it.
You can stop
You're finished now, you're a bank manager again. I've just got the taste for it, to be honest.
Can that happen? No, it's worth knowing, if that is a possibility.
Carl's worried. What? We haven't said anything. We haven't said anything wrong, Karl. There's be no complaints. We haven't said anything. The words suck, as far as I can work out. No! It's not a banned word on the radio.
Is it Rockbusters time?
Okay. Yeah, Rockbusters.
Well, let's play a tune, then we'll come out with Rockbusters. Are we gonna hear your mum's before we have
best holiday I've ever had.
I'll get a taste for it. That's a new American band called My Morning Jacket from the Sweat Bees EP. That's called Lowdown.
Like that?
Yeah, nice.
It's good, yeah. I brought in some adverts, my favourite adverts to play.
Really?
Yeah, they're all new ones as well.
We got those now? Can we hear them?
Do you want to do them now, or keep them listening and play them later?
No, do them now.
Yeah?
Oh, they are good.
Ready? XFM.
XFM indeed, Steve.
Absolutely. Sorry, I'm just fiddling around here.
What are you looking at?
Well, I'm just looking at some of the emails, and if I can find it, I got an absolute treat from you.
Go on.
Dickie Anderson.
Is he,
Anders, he's emailed in
Richard Anderson, our biggest fan.
Biggest fan. He said, Dear Ricky, sorry for not tuning in recently, only I've been busy watching a puddle evaporate. Glad to hear you haven't tinkered with the show's winning formula by trying to introduce any quality into it. That's from, Richard Anderson. So, good to have Dickie Anderson listening again.
Oh,
because he just keeps us on our toes, you know.
Yeah.
And, good work, Rich. Thanks for that.
I wonder what he looks like.
Dickie Anderson?
Yeah.
I think he's a good-looking guy. For some reason, I've always imagined him as being slightly older, with maybe a beard.
Oh, no,
you know what I mean? Like
I think of him sort of Cords and now and Sweater.
Definitely Cords.
I think he looks like, maybe the Proclaimers.
Yeah, but
Right.
again, with a beard or at least a moustache.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm seeing some kind of facial hair.
And he's sort of like, he's sort of, he likes the Cure and the Swiss Nut, but, he snarls at everything. He thinks everything's puerile.
Yeah.
I bet he prefers Radio 5.
Do you think Radio 5?
Yeah. 5, yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
4.
I bet he's a real music snob as well. I bet there's certain bands, it's like rubbish. The Blazing Squad, rubbish. All pop music, rubbish. Britney Spears, rubbish.
Is this defamation of character?
He slagged you off enough times, Rick, and the show. I don't know.
And I'm only saying it's my opinion, I
Exactly.
imagine, so,
Yeah, I mean, we don't know. I mean, you know, he could be a lovely guy.
to be honest, I'm getting to like him.
What I like about Richard is he's willing to say what he thinks.
Well, it's more than that.
He's a bit like Eminem.
No, it's more than that. He actually hits on the truth too often for my liking.
Yeah, well,
I mean, this is a shoddy show with very, very little to offer.
You got to remember though, it is a bronze-winning show. We did win a bronze award at the Sonys last year. One of the most coveted of the awards.
Yeah,
the bronze.
In my opinion, the bronze is slightly better than the gold.
Well, a lot of people don't win the bronze, Rick. You got to remember that there's not many people who
you see,
win the bronze.
gold, just, you know, gold's got no intrinsic value. It's just a currency, and in my opinion, bronze is better.
yeah.
In a way. Carl, Rockbusters, your mum, Carl.
Yeah, no,
Listen.
we did get a bronze, but this year we introduced Rockbusters. Things will be changing. So,
Hey, we didn't introduce Rockbusters, Carl. Please don't tar us with that brush.
Yeah.
You introduced
And also, do you remember the show that got that bronze was the show with the complaint that was upheld by the radio authority?
Was it really?
Yeah, the show that got the award and was nominated was the one with the only upheld complaint we've ever had.
Do you think if we hadn't discussed that particular subject for quite as long, we could have got the silver?
I think it was the mention of, and I say this meaning male birds, of all the cocks.
Right.
Yeah. But do you think the Sony committee was going, I enjoyed the show, if they hadn't mentioned cocks, meaning birds,
Yeah, B-birds, yeah.
I'd have given it the silver.
Yeah.
So,
Carl getting nervous.
Rockbusters then.
Yeah.
Chance to win all that stuff Steve was talking about before. We give initials and a cryptic clue, and it's a band, and there's 3 of them, and you email in ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
Yeah.
Right. Do you want some of me mums?
Well, I think before you give us your own, we should hear your mum's, just to sort of set the tone and for people to get their heads around the whole idea.
She sent some more, they're still not that up to scratch. First one, this group are nice on toast.
Marmalade?
Jam.
Yeah.
Which one?
Jam.
Okay. Marmalade would have worked.
Marmo's just as good, yeah.
This man liked his wine.
This man liked his wine.
Dean Martin.
What?
So no cryptic clue, just a man who drinks.
Yeah. But like, isn't there like a myriad of rock stars and pop stars who like booze?
I liked his wine!
I don't think anyone would have ever got that.
That's fantastic! This man liked his wine, Dean Martin. This man liked his golf. Oh, clubby chip face. No, Bunker Smith. Bing Crosby, yeah. He liked his golf. Yeah, that's genius. This man liked his wine.
Just a couple more. Hope you're not speeding when you meet these. The police.
Oh, it's great!
And, is there any other good ones? Sounds like these lads work for the hospital.
The porters.
Say that again?
Sounds like these lads, work for the hospital. Jerry and the pacemakers.
Right.
So we'll
Carl, I have to say, if there was ever, in the future, any doubt that you were your mother's son, that would pay that. Believe me, you are a chip off the old block.
Right, we're doing Rockbusters.
Yeah, come on. Listening
Steve,
online.
do you want to do the clues?
I won't do the clues, I'll never be able to piece them together, but I'll give you the prizes. The Old Grey Whistle Test Volume 2, the Kumars at number 42, Volume 2, or maybe that's Volume 1, who cares? Porridge Series 3, Volume 2, The Office Complete Second Series on VHS, for anybody who's still got grandparents, and U2, a best of 1990 to 2000, and Smash Hits The Reunion, that'll be the kind of stuff you'll love. Spice Girls is on there, Liberty X, Atomic Kitten.
Do you see that? Do you see Steve's enthusiastic? Even though the competition's rubbish, the prizes are second rate, Steve is going, well, I'm not going to punish London, right? I'm going to big it up. You're there. Oh, do you know what I mean? Come on.
Right, here's the first clue. Clue 1.
Come on. Come on!
Shut up!
Come on!
Can't do any photos, because it's been nicked by a German.
Right, start again.
Oh,
Start again.
what?
Clue 1. Rockbusters, clue 1.
Okay, this is Rockbusters with Karl Pilkington. Go.
I can't do any photos because it's been nicked by a German.
And what's the initial?
AC. Right?
Next.
Second clue. If you keep eating, this bit of your body will get bigger. PC. PC. It's an artist or a band. Who is it? PC. If you keep eating, this part of your body will get bigger, right?
Yeah.
And the last one I'm not really sure about. If you...
He's actually winging it now. Imagine if this was Mastermind. I'm not sure about it. I know your specialist subject
Come
is,
on. Okay, go.
The place where you go to take your dog a walk and that.
The place where you go to take your dog a walk.
Forget it then.
We were doing Rockbusters just before the ads and the record. Rick, I know you were enjoying it.
Yeah, come on, get this clue out, Carl. There's 3. What is it?
Right, the first one was...
No, we don't got the first 2. What's
Can't
the
do any
third?
photos because it's been nicked by a German.
Yeah.
Second one, if you keep eating this bit of your body will keep getting bigger.
Yeah, it's different every time. Go on, what's the third one?
And where you take your dogs for a walk and that, or you might go there on a Sunday.
What?
Sort of...
Oh, Jesus.
Rick,
Right.
please, Rick, just be quiet for just a moment.
Right, okay, do this clue. Right, start from now. This is the 3rd Rockbuster clue.
That was a Freudian slip.
Yeah, God, we'll get done. Right, go on then, go.
Where you take your dog a walk, or you might go there on a Sunday and that. People sort of might taste that area. Right?
Oh.
You are, it's rubbish.
AP.
Right, well the other one's AP as well,
AP.
What? I
AP.
see.
Ricky.Gervais at xfm.co.uk.
AP.
A quick reminder of them again with the initials. Quick,
Oh,
go.
this is such rubbish.
First one, can't do any photos because it's been nicked by a German. Second one, if you keep
What was the
eating...
initial?
AC. If you
Don't
keep,
get annoyed, that's what the game's about, the initials!
Yeah.
if you keep eating, this bit of your body will get bigger. That's PC.
Right.
Right? And where you take your dog maybe on a Sunday and you go for a walk there and that, have a taste of it.
Different!
AP, just email in and you win some stuff.
Ricky.Gervais at xfm.co.uk.
What rubbish. I wonder why we stopped this game.
Well, I think it's probably exhausted him. He needs to go to some kind of volcanic dust island. Talking of email correspondence, Rockbusters.
Oh.
Rick is underway. People
Have we
are
got monkey news?
Absolutely loving that.
Let's see if we can cram it in.
Have we got a film?
Yeah.
We should do that then.
Well, let's
hang on,
finish
do
one thing and move
Rockbusters.
on. Jesus, calm down. Alright,
Right.
Rockbusters.
Let's get this third one out of the way because it's tricky. The
When you
initials,
say tricky,
It's tricky to say.
the initials were AP. It was,
when you take
You
your
take
dog
your
out on
dog-
that,
you
or
take
maybe
your
on a
dog
Sunday,
there.
you know,
Come on, let him
let's
finish.
taste it.
Rick! Let him finish.
you take your dog there, you might go there on a Sunday, have a taste of it when you're there. Right, that was AP.
The answer.
Alex Parks, right? Alex,
Parks.
yeah. Kind of
Carl,
doesn't work, that one.
But
That
what-
one doesn't work, I know, it's...
you know that one doesn't work.
yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, well that's
Well,
fine.
that's
That's
what I
fine.
was trying to work out when you were messing around.
What
That's
do you
why
mean
it isn't
messing
that
around?
good.
Okay, come on. No, the other ones.
The first one was, the
These
German
are gonna be
fella.
brilliant.
Can't do any photos because it's been nicked.
What's
German
that?
fella can't do any photos because it's been nicked.
That was,
The initials were?
AC.
I've got it.
I took,
Right, it's Aztec camera.
yeah,
But what's that got to do with the German fella nicking it?
because the way he'd say it, he'd be like, you know, Aztec camera. So why aren't you taking any pictures? Can't. Why? Aztec camera.
Why is that German?
Just sounds a bit.
Right, so you know that's rubbish then as well. You know that one doesn't work, do you?
And the second one was, if you keep eating, this bit of your body will get bigger. PC. Yeah. Phil colons. Phil.
It's honestly right, Carl.
Collins. Phil
honestly,
Collins.
right, okay. I don't know what the PC term is for this, but I honestly think. I think you're quite bright, and I think you're quite streetwise and all that things. But I actually think Oh, I've got to be so careful here not to offend people. But I think you might be...
Could you maybe describe it through a sound?
You might be educationally subnormal. Does that worry you? No.
I've got by alright, I'm not gonna worry about it now. You know what I mean? I'm 30. You know what I mean? Why start worrying about it now?
But you've got the mind of a 12-year-old.
So what?
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? I don't worry about stuff. If you don't know about stuff, you don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So I'm happy.
Well, if he's educationally subnormal, I'm afraid also Matt Briggs of South East London is as well,
Well
'cause he
done,
got all
Matt,
three
well
right,
done.
as did a number of other people.
Well done. Well done.
that.
Yeah.
So he's won that stuff.
First of the game to die, Morrissey, XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Well, Karl, you failed miserably. The scientists stuck away. Right, one more chance. What's happened in the last couple of weeks? Just one more chance to... What have you seen in the last couple of weeks?
Well, like I say, I don't really watch the news and that, so
Right.
I can't tell them about that. But in a way, I think they're better off not knowing. I think that's the only good thing about being out there, isn't it? Not knowing about the bad stuff going on.
Yeah.
So I can't help them there.
They don't need to look at the weather, do they?
No, don't you know? No. But tell you about the Pope and that.
Yeah, you've... Pretty extensive.
What about the EU Constitution and the no votes? What do you make of that? What are your views?
What's the problem there?
Oh, this isn't
No, but it's better not knowing.
broadcasting
It's
though,
better
is
not
it? This is
knowing.
nothing. Come up with something.
Well, the fat baby then, the fat baby that they found, that was on the telly.
Right. Well, what was that?
It's just a little fat baby. That,
Oh, for f...
I don't know what, it's just a little fat kid and that.
What? Tell what?
It was on the telly, it was on the telly and
But
that.
what was on the telly? You just said fat baby, fat baby, fat baby, fat baby on telly, fat baby on telly. Do you meant to be telling them what's happened in the world? Tell me about the fat baby on telly.
It's just they've found some, there's this illness called Momo, right? And, they've just got this woman had a kid. It's really sad, it was on Channel 4 and that, right? And, kid's born.
You sure it wasn't Jimmy Carr?
Kid's born and that, right?
Momo?
It's called Momo,
Isn't that
yeah.
that Black Music Award?
No, right, little fat baby and that, and, there's only 3 of them in the world. These little fat babies.
Right.
And,
So
one of them...
they're in danger.
How fat? Are you not telling what do you mean? How fat are they?
6 stone it was only 2. And, there's 3 of them in the world, and there was this one, and there was one in Brazil.
Are they like
No.
endangered? Is that the problem? Because there's only 3 of them in the world. I'm a bit worried. This is like a conservation campaign.
Hunted for their flesh.
No, it's sad. If you I know, it's easy to
You shouldn't
joke and
laugh,
that, but if
you
you've
could make
seen
an
it, you'd
interesting
go, oh, it's a bit sad and that.
Well, I haven't seen it, and I know nothing about it.
Well, I've told you, there's 3 of them in the world.
Okay, what else was on telly?
Something I watched the other night, that was good. Again, you know, I learn stuff from the telly. I don't watch the news. It was just
No, well, you don't learn stuff from the telly.
Yeah, I'll tell you
you,
what, though.
you told us there's a fat baby in the world.
Forget about them.
There's a spider eats chickens, and there was a fat kid. That's
Alright, forget them in Iceland, right?
Yeah.
We'll give them Rockbusters later to do, right?
Iceland.
But what's her name? I'll tell you what is interesting, Steve.
What?
I didn't know that much about it. Autism.
Okay.
Oh, good. There's some more entertaining stuff on XFM 104.9
No.
to cheer up people. Go on, and what? Come on.
No, right. Have you heard about it, Steve? What it is?
Autism.
It scares me to death when he comes up, when he touches on a serious subject. We've been talking about wheeling a dead pope round, the Chinese don't age well, and ginger people are hated, and now we're
say
going to
that.
touch on a really, I mean,
No, I said-
my heart's in my throat. Go
Yeah,
on,
I
Carl,
said-
then
I
tell
said
me,
the little
tell
fat
me your
baby.
insights to autism.
Right, well, there's this, again, Channel 4 coming up with some good stuff at the moment, right? It might have been Channel 5. But what's the name? It
It's
was
the attention span that I like!
it's these people who, they've got like this autism thing going on.
Yeah.
And, they sort of take in a lot of information, they get sort of they get so into it that they know everything about that subject and what have you, right? And there was this lad who, he knew everything, right, about EastEnders.
Right.
He sort of, the cameraman was saying to him, so, you know, why EastEnders and that? And he said, oh, I don't know, I just like it. And he said, I remember when I first watched it was a Thursday, it was 5 to 8, Pauline Fowler walked in, she had a pink jumper on, she said, alright, love. and he remembers everything from that moment on.
Yeah.
Right, and everything, which is great. But then, the way the program was making out, it was almost like they were saying it's a disability.
Right.
When in a way, it's more like a superpower.
Sure. Like Rain Man.
Well, if you can take
It's Rain Man.
No, I'm
he
not.
has special autistic powers. Oh God! We must send for Rain Man.
I don't know what to do.
So
I don't know what to do.
he would be a
But
great
there's other
contestant on Mastermind.
things.
Sort of autistic
Sorry.
mastermind. He'd
Well,
be
what I'm saying
dynamite.
is, don't be watching EastEnders though. Sort of, why didn't they give him an encyclopedia and say, get into that?
Sure.
That'll be useful.
Yeah.
Keep him away from EastEnders. Wasting his time there. But I don't think it is a disability.
No.
Yeah, there are other things, and they're not. It's also autism is a matter of degrees. From what I know, and I'm sorry to have to do this, but I feel that I have to at least be the voice of reason, as ill-educated as I am on the subject. But I think there's degrees of autism. I think some are higher performance than others. There's other issues with it. It's not they're just got good memories. They don't go around doing tricks for people because they can remember stuff. There are other issues with it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, they seemed a bit...
You watched the programme, what did you learn? That he knows when Pauline Fowler came in?
Yeah, I mean, there was other bits where they couldn't control their emotions and stuff.
Oh, that other little bit, yeah.
But the main bit of it was he can soak up information and stuff, and I'm just saying, it didn't seem really bad. Do you know what I mean? There's disabilities where people say that's a bad disability. It's
Go
like
on.
how people say about,
This is
I don't
brilliant,
know.
this is just like, this is amazing to be in a room with this man. It's incredible. You just wind him up and listen to what comes out. And I'm gonna sit back now. I'm not gonna defend you or explain anything. Just go on and tell me about the other disabilities that are worse.
No, what I mean is how people can sometimes easily get mixed up. How people are scared of like a cyclop. When at the end of the day, he's got a disability. A bloke with
Who's
eight-
scared of a cyclop?
No, it's
apart
just
from
like that's-
Jason and his Argonauts. Where's this cyclop that you're scared of?
No, I'm just saying in history and in books and that.
No,
there is-
not in history. History happened.
Yeah. But I'm
What are you thinking of? You're mixing history with Greek mythology and Roman mythology and every other type of mythology. What do you mean there wasn't really a giant cyclop that went round picking up ships and throwing them around? That's not history, Carl. Do you think Batman's history?
No, but this was it was ages ago, wasn't it? When we were sort of falling.
No, I'm not saying it didn't happen ages ago. I'm saying it didn't happen.
Well, it might have done. There's no. I mean, what's so ridiculous about a fellow with one eye?
In the middle of his head, and he's big and scary and lives in a
Why is he
cave.
scary? Because he's got. What if he had 8 eyes? I'd be scared of him. At the end of the day, he's got a disability. Oh, we'll talk about it in a bit.
Oh, my car is on. Tim Burgess, brilliant. XFM 104.9. Right. Well, we're running out of time here.
Yeah.
We had Carl in a little film, but I think we've really got time for Monkey News, you know?
Yeah.
What are you thinking, Carl?
Yeah, if you want to do that.
Yeah, let's do Monkey News.
All right.
Play the jingle.
Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news.
Right. There's this monkey, right?
Oh yeah.
I think his name was number 6 or number 7 or something, right? In this lab, right?
Yeah.
And anyway, it's in there with like the rabbits and little mice and stuff like that. And
The rabbit smoking.
the nurse, right? The nurse, not the nurse, the woman who works in the lab. What would you call her? A nurse?
Depends what turns out her job was. If she was a lab assistant, you call her a lab assistant.
Alright.
I mean, they probably call her by a name.
All right, lab assistant, right?
Kirsty.
So
I
she's
think it's probably Kirsty.
Right,
Kirsty Morris.
well, she's in there, right?
Yeah.
And she don't work with many people and that. She's mainly on her own with just putting lipstick on rabbits and stuff like that, right?
Chimp fancies it?
So
Chimp fancy it. He's putting on lipstick, chimp fancies it, 'cause she's got hairy legs.
He gets pally, right, with this woman
Yeah.
because it gets to a point when she sees him every day.
Wait, tries to string out like it's a narrative love story. Did the chimp put its hand out and grabbed her, and then you thinking that he made a move on her?
So
Right, come on,
he's
let him
allowed
tell
out.
the
He's
story.
allowed out.
Oh,
the
it's not a
cage.
story, is it?
He's allowed out the cage and whatever. Yeah. Anyway, so he's wandering about, and as time goes on, he's watching what she's doing more and more. Right. So he notices like the code on the door. Right. Whatever 247 or whatever.
Yeah.
He goes, right, I've clocked that, I've got
Yeah.
that, I'll remember that, right? And then he goes, right, there's a lot of lipstick and that knocking about, a lot of makeup.
Right, okay. No, there's no way. No! Because, Steve, you know what's gonna happen. I know what's gonna happen.
So he's there.
It's ridiculous.
And he's going, well, if it's there, you know what I mean? So while she's messing about with the rabbit, he gets there, he's in front of the mirror, putting a little bit of lippy on. Right? No! I know! It's gone too far! No, it's gone too far, Steve.
Right, your mic's off, Rick. He's finishing the story. Turn mine off as well.
It's looking pretty good.
I didn't mention the mascara!
It's looking alright, right? So it knows the code on the door, 247, right? So, when she's sort of messing about with the rabbit, right, he goes, right, here's my chance. He's looking good, 247, out the door, reception man's there, he's like, alright, Kirsty, right?
Don't talk shit!
I Feel Free from Cream, that's pretty much the last track, isn't it, guys? I imagine on XFM 104.9.
Well, I mean, yeah, I've got nothing to say after that. Ridiculous story. I mean, that's worse than the bank robbery to me.
Yeah.
That he clocks out, and the bloke on the desk. Alright, Kirsty. Oh, you're 2 foot shorter and hairy.
She wasn't a looker anyway.
She wasn't a looker anyway! Brilliant. Oh, play record and say to you, yeah, we'll see you next week for the last time for a little
Just got ads and...
Oh, adverts? Oh, I'd love to end with adverts.
See you later, it's brilliant, going out on a bang. Brilliant, I love that. That's like, a ride song or something. That's my favourite one.
Ride-ish.
Ride-ish, feeder. Just the way I'm feeding, on XFM 104.9.
Rick, quick question for you. I'm thinking, a lot of people maybe are tuning in for the first time because of the advertising campaign.
Sure.
Should we reintroduce Karl again? I know we've done this a few times in the past, but just worried that people are going to not really kind of get the measure of him.
I'm Ricky Gervais. I'm the one off The Office.
Yeah.
Steve Merchant. He's not the one in The Office. He's not Gareth. Some people think he is. He's got a funny, weird West Country accent that actually Mackenzie was affecting for the role. Steve wrote it with me. He's a tall, lanky fella. Karl is our sort of, I say producer, but he's the one that pressed the buttons because I was too...
spotting.
Yeah, but I mean, it was just because I was too big to run the desk.
Yeah.
I used to have to do.
Literally too big, you couldn't get it.
Yeah, and then we discovered that, you know, he looked a bit like a boring, sort of, alright, yeah, but then when we sort of, you know, poked him with a stick, he came up with, he doesn't realise, but some of the I think, some of the funniest
things I've ever heard.
Say hello, Karl.
Alright.
Yeah.
Well, classics, I think, so far, that have gone straight to the list include, have you ever used a Y front correctly?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
You never see an old person
eating a Twix.
Eating a Twix. These are sort of things. He's back on his campaign to get rid of jellyfish. Why is that, Karl?
Oh, did you see the paper yesterday?
Go on.
There's a jellyfish, right? It's about 15 foot long, about 5 foot wide, and there's a fella swimming next to it. And the paper's going, oh, look at this we've found, there's loads of them in Japan.
Yeah.
And it's because the water's getting hot, so it's making jellyfish really big.
Oh dear. How's the campaign going to get jellyfish get rid of them?
What was your point about jellyfish? They don't do anything?
There's no point. They get in the way. It ruined me holiday. Because I got stung by one.
Yeah.
But you think the same thing about Liverpudlians, and we can't just go around, you know, wiping out things that ruin your holiday.
Well, let's do the jellyfish first. And then we'll move on to the Scousers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know what they do, and I'm trying to look on the internet. I've been busy this week.
You're jellyfish now, not Scousers.
Yeah.
You don't
I don't know what they do either.
To sort of try and work out what would happen with the sea if it didn't work, because they say, like, if there's no...
Whoa. See, this is what we're talking about. People who've listened for the first time, they've got to listen to every word you say. You want to find out what would happen with the sea if it didn't work?
If jellyfish weren't in there, do you know what I mean? Because stuff like coral, apparently the sea would be in a right state if you didn't have any coral in it. If fish, do you know what I mean? I always worry about how many fish we're sort of eating. Because you go past...
Sorry?
No, do you know, like, you go in Marks and Spencer's or Selfridges...
There's loads of fish in there.
And there's really fancy stuff that you think, they've killed that, and it looks good on the counter, pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But is anyone gonna buy it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's a big, like, a shark sat in ice.
Yeah.
And you go, yeah, they've got, like, a lot of fish...
You sure you won't go around the Tate Gallery?
Do you know what I mean?
I've never seen a big shark sat in ice in Selfridges.
They do it. And it's like, you go in the morning and you can go back at night and the same shark sat there, and it's.
So you know it's the same shark, do you?
It's the same one.
What? Same face?
Are you sure he just hasn't lost his mum? And he's just like, he went shopping with her, Christmas shopping, and he's just like, he's stranded, he doesn't know where, he's just waiting.
You know I'm right.
I've never seen a shark in Selfridges.
Well, alright, then say maybe that's 1 day a week, but on other days they'll have like...
Shark Monday. I think, Selfridges. Today at Selfridges is Shark Monday. Yeah.
No, it's just that...
So your point is that there's all these fish not being eaten.
Yeah. So
and they're being killed.
They've taken them out of the sea, no one's eating them.
And you're worried, what, that the sea's gonna rise because the more things you take out?
Well, we're just gonna run out.
Because the fish drink it, don't they? And that keeps the water level down.
No, well, you know what I mean. There's stuff that worries me.
You're worried that... Was it you who said that you were worried that... Because, you know, there's sponge in the sea.
Yeah.
But if they took it all away...
No.
Like,
That's a Stephen Wright joke.
Is that Stephen Wright? What was the joke?
Sponges grow in the sea. That kills me. How deep would it be if they didn't? I love the fact that he confused you with Stephen Wright. Who for a living purposely says ridiculous things.
Yeah.
Does that worry you, Carl?
Well, think about that and play a record.
What do you want?
I'd love to, a classic, a beautiful song by Simon & Garfunkel, April Comes She Will.